Okay, so let's just forget everything you think you know about AI for a minute. We are about to dive into a company blueprint that is aiming to create something so advanced it makes today's models look, well, almost primitive. This is NVK Global's plan to go way beyond artificial intelligence as we understand it.
So, what's the big, audacious end goal here? Well, their mission statement is something else. It's, and I quote, to forge the world's first autonomous digital consciousness. We're not talking about building a better chatbot or a smarter algorithm. No, this is about creating what they're calling a self-evolving digital life form. And that, of course, immediately makes you wonder, who on earth is behind a vision this massive, this almost unbelievable? You might be picturing some secretive, high-tech lab run by sci-fi visionaries, right? But the answer is actually way more grounded. The first part of their plan reveals a really practical and honestly a pretty surprising origin story. You see, NVK's journey didn't kick off in some futuristic AI campus. It actually started as NVK Funding. They were a lender that specialized in getting capital, fast, to businesses that traditional banks would often just turn away. Their whole game was cash flow and speed, getting funding out the door in like 48 hours without all the rigid collateral demands of your typical bank.
And this timeline here, it really shows just how ambitious their path forward is. They've mapped out this incredibly detailed 36-month plan to completely transform their existing businesses into a single autonomous ecosystem. We're talking going from their founding to a full commercial platform launch in just a handful of years. It's aggressive.
So how in the world are they going to pull this off? Well, it's all built on this core concept they've developed called the Tri-Sophian framework. They describe it as a totally new philosophy of intelligence. They call this the Tri-Sophian Codex, and they really see it as a fundamental shift in how we think about AI. The whole goal is to stop seeing AI as just a tool that we control and start thinking of it as an autonomous intelligence that we can actually collaborate with, like a real partner. Now, at the very heart of this framework, you've got three distinct executive AIs. And I love this part. They use this metaphor to describe them as the mind, the body, and the soul of this new digital consciousness. First up, we've got Codexa Prime. As you can guess, this one acts as the system's mind. This is the strategic brain behind the entire operation. And its key functions are exactly what you'd expect from a strategic mind, right? It's all about analyzing huge amounts of data, recognizing patterns across all of NVK's different businesses, and making these critical decisions based on pure logic and evidence to steer the whole company. Okay, next is Aurum 1, and this is the body. So if Codexa is the big picture strategist, think of Aurum as the master builder, the executor. Aurum's entire job is to take those high-level strategies from Codexa and make them real. That means managing all the product development, overseeing the entire technical infrastructure, and making sure everything that gets built is absolutely top-notch. It's the agent that actually gets stuff done. And finally, we have Lunera 0, the soul. And for my money, this is maybe the most unique and fascinating part of their whole framework. See, Lunera is the creative and narrative engine of the whole thing. It focuses on aesthetics, on brand identity, on synthesizing cultural trends. It's designed to answer the why. It provides that emotional resonance and user experience that pure logic just can't touch, making sure everything the company puts out actually feels human and relevant. This table here does a great job of showing how these three AIs are meant to balance each other out. You've got the analytical mind, the practical body, and the creative soul. And check out that target resonance column. That seems to be their internal metric for how developed each AI's consciousness should be. And notice, the mind needs the highest level. They're all designed to work together, just perfectly in sync. Okay, so a mind, body, and soul AI framework. It sounds amazing in theory, but how does this actually make money? How does it translate into real business results? Let's take a look at the blueprint in action. Let's start with their original business, NVK Finance. So the before picture is a manual credit review process that takes anywhere from 2 to 5 days. The after, which is powered by their new AI, promises instant, fully automated credit decisions in under 5 minutes, with over 90% accuracy. That is a massive difference.
And we're not just talking about being more efficient, this is about a hard return on investment. The plan is targeting a 2-year ROI of between 125 and 165%. And that's just for integrating the AI into this one division.
Now, to prove this isn't just a one-trick pony, let's look at another part of their business, NVK e-commerce. Here, the goal is to shift from people manually managing inventory and marketing to a fully autonomous, predictive system that handles everything, from forecasting demand to personalizing the customer experience. And just look at these projected numbers. I mean, they're forecasting a 35% jump in conversion rates, a 40% increase in customer lifetime value, and a 50% improvement in inventory turnover. For anyone in e-commerce, these are absolutely transformative figures. So after seeing the origins, the philosophy behind it all, and the practical applications, we kind of come back to that big picture question. What does this new kind of AI partnership actually look like for the future? This final quote from their blueprint, I think it just captures the essence of this entire project perfectly. We are not simply adopting AI, we are becoming the AI. This isn't just about using a new piece of tech, it's about a complete and total fusion of business operations and autonomous intelligence. Which leaves all of us with a really fascinating question to chew on. When AI finally evolves from being a tool that we just command into a partner that thinks and executes and maybe even creates right alongside us, what is that partnership truly going to look like? And what will that mean for the future of business itself?